Okay, Nicole, so can you introduce yourself a little bit, please?
Sure. I'm Nicole Van Hattem and I'm a holistic success coach and a best-selling author. I'm also the host of a very successful podcast that I encourage you all to subscribe to called Hot and Healthy with Nicole Van Hattem.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicole. So tell me a little bit about your clients. Who are the people that come to you? What's their usual problem, and what do you think they approach you to as a solution for their issues?
Okay. So the people that come to see me are generally those people who are successful in some aspects of their life, but are realizing that they're not living up to their full potential. Maybe it's their full potential in terms of the way they're experiencing their body. It could be in terms of the way that they are having relationships in their lives, and it could be in terms of the business side of what they're trying to change. But essentially it's because they're looking for that little bit of a self-empowerment, that ability to be able to realize they can have anything and everything they want and that it's within their reach. So the people that come to me, I work with them, alongside them as their partner, as their coach, to get them to dig deep into the resources that they already have within themselves in order to create the kind of amazing life that they want. So these are people who are maybe surviving and have done quite well with that, but are now looking to thrive instead of just survive.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So you get a lot of different types of people. Can you
Yeah.
can you share a little success story of one of your clients?
Sure, I can share lots if you like, but I'll start with I'm going to start with myself. I was actually my first client, and I described myself as, at that time, I was fat, sick, and successful. And I say successful because I was only successful in terms of what a classic definition of success was. I was earning a lot of money. I had, fantastic title. I worked in a very large global organization. I got lots of rewards. However, when you looked at the other aspects of my life experience in terms of what I now call success, I was failing miserably. My body was struggling to thrive. My relationship with my second husband was in trouble. I did not have deep relationships with friends and family. I didn't know who I was and what my purpose was in life. And I just found that everything was difficult, and I really didn't enjoy being in my body. And I was constantly afraid that I was setting myself up for failure and was kind of waiting for either a diagnosis to confirm that I was failing, or for something else really big in my life to give me a wake-up call. And in the end, I decided I wasn't going to wait for that. I was going to do it for myself. I was for myself. And I took myself on a detox retreat way before I thought that was a cool thing to do, back when I thought that was a really bizarre, extreme thing to do. But I also realized that my situation required me to do something quite dramatic. And I went on this retreat. It was a detox center in Thailand, and I did things like colonics, meditation, yoga, fasting. I actually slept. I didn't know what that was very much before I went on the retreat, and I started journaling and just basically started reflecting and getting back in touch with who I was, and wanted to sort of find out, is there a purpose for me alive? What's the point of great care of me? Is it because I have a point? Is there for some reason for me to show up in the world and to be around for a long time and show up in a high quality form? And so that was the beginning of my journey. So I would say myself was my first client. But since then, I've had many clients come to me for many different reasons, whether it was depression, marriage relationship problems, maybe they wanted to lose weight. I've had people come to me to gain weight. And without exception, I can say everyone who has been through a journey with me as their coach and their partner has had amazing transformations in some aspect of their lives. And it may not be what they expected as an outcome when they first started, because that's something very important, is to allow the journey and the process to evolve as you evolve, and for the aha moments and the awareness to come in ways that it's just going to naturally evolve, and it's different for every single person.
Wow, that's amazing. So what did you do before you were a coach?
Oh wow, I've done all sorts of things. I worked for Foreign Affairs, I worked for the Australian Defence Force, oil and gas, financial services. Worked in shops. I've been working since I was 9. I love to serve people and really get a buzz out of making people happy and working out what they need and what's going to work for them. So that must have been coming through at a very young age. My last full-time corporate job was head of human resources for an international bank. And then while I was going through this transition period of discovering myself and my purpose, I ended up becoming a leadership development consultant, working with high potential local nationals to develop really innovative programs to get them to explore and evolve and develop themselves in a very short space of time. So I've had a very broad experience in many countries around the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's one of the reasons that opens your mind and makes you aware of so many things too.
Absolutely. I mean, I personally think that traveling and people are one of the greatest experiences that you can give yourself. And it really does evolve you and strengthen you and make you more valuable in terms of how you show up in the world and how you experience this life that we've been given this fabulous opportunity to experience.
What challenges you the most in your job?
Ooh. What challenges me the most? Really? Honestly, I would have to say getting people to realize that everything they have is already within them. Oftentimes they're looking for the solution or the answer outside of themselves. And my role is to build their confidence and their belief in themselves that they've had it all along. Maybe they've not been aware of that. Maybe they were disillusioned. So it's really getting people to realize they are perfect, they are whole, they are fully complete and completely resourceful, and that I'm there to help them discover that that's there. Maybe fine-tune it and give them some guidance and explore some different options with them, but really it's all within them. So I think that's the biggest challenge. The second challenge, I would say, is getting people to stay with the process long enough to really discover the full potential that they have. People are looking for quick fixes. You know, that's why diets are so popular, because people are looking to shed the pounds really quickly, not realizing actually that to have real success and to have sustainable success, we need to get a little deeper and work with the foundation of why their body is showing up with extra weight. For example, if we're talking about weight loss, what are the underlying belief systems or challenges or experiences that we need to explore in order to get them to create a new foundation which works for them in the longer term, rather than looking for that quick fix. So I'd say the second one is hanging in there long enough, first of all trusting and believing in themselves, and the second one is hanging in there long enough to really experience the fullness of the results that they can give themselves.
Do people quit fast in these types of therapies?
No, I would say different people, they have different experiences and different challenges in their lives. Some people, they have some success, or they get some aha moments or some awareness, and they're so surprised by it that it's like, wow, and then they pause their sessions for a while and say, hang on, I just need to digest this and I'll come back, and they come back. So for some people I might see them for 3 months and we've achieved what we set out to achieve, or it's enough for now. And for some people I work for 2 years, 3 years to get them to where they're comfortable to say, okay, I'm full, I have enough of what I want, and I'm going to go on this journey by themselves. So it's different for everybody, just because everyone's journey is unique and different, and so their experience and the time is different and unique as well.
Okay. Have you seen a pattern of maybe ages or genders that look for you, that work with you?
I would say it's not obviously, but from my experience, it's more women. And I'll say that in terms of women will see the warning signs or start noticing externally that it's not quite what they would like to see in the mirror or in their lives. And they'll take a proactive approach to, I don't want this to get any worse. I need to learn what it is I need to learn, or I need to explore, or I need to create a foundation now. And men, I find, come when they get it like a crash. They get a diagnosis or a really bad wake-up call, and then they come to me and they say, I need to do something about it now. And I'll give the example of, I had a client come to me. It was a man. He was in his late 40s, and he said, listen, I've just been given 6 weeks to do some things about my health, my fitness, my weight. Otherwise, they're going to give me heart surgery. I'm on two heart medications now, and they want to give me surgery in 6 weeks unless I can do something significant about it. And I said, okay, 6 weeks, right, let's see what we can do. I said, look, I'll take you on as a client. I'm going to see you every week. You've got to do the homework in between. I call it home play because it's actually fun. But they've got to do the homework in between. If you don't do your homework, I stop seeing you. If you do the homework, you're going to be very happy with what happens at the end of 6 weeks. So he did that. He did everything. And I use tools such as visualizations, meditation, trying new foods, vision boards. They've got to watch videos. They've got to do journals. They have to work on themselves because we're also rewiring the subconscious belief systems and the bombardment from external influences that get us to believe certain things which may or may not be true for us. So we work really deeply on that, and as a result the body begins to respond differently to those different beliefs as well. And so he did everything, absolutely everything I told him to do, and he did it 110%. He was like the best student I ever had, or the best coachee. And at the end of 6 weeks he went for his medical assessment, and they said you can come off completely off one of your heart medications, and you can come down by half on the second one, and you don't need your surgery. But for him, he needed a diagnosis from a doctor that said, go forth and sort your stuff out. Whereas I find that women kind of look in the mirror and go, not so happy with this. Or, you know, they've got mood changes, or they're getting older, and they're sort of like the creeping realization that they need to do something, and then they seek me out, and then we get busy and magic happens.
Okay. And what rewards you the most of all this work that you do?
Oh, wow, what rewards me the most? I honestly just came out of a session with a client now, and she keeps saying, I'm so glad I found you. I'm so glad I'm having these sessions with you. I'm so glad that you accepted me as a client. I'm so glad. And all the gratitude was coming to me, and I just paused her for a second and said, actually, I really am grateful, and I receive all your gratitude, and it's really wonderful. I would like you to now give that back to yourself. So every time you want to be grateful to me, I want you to turn it around and to give yourself that thanks, because you made that decision to seek me out. And you made that decision to keep turning up for your sessions. And you're the one that keeps being amazing and keeps exploring and staying open and going on the journey. You're the one doing this. So it's for me to be grateful to you that you keep showing up for yourself. So for me, the reward is not the short term. For me, the reward is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years later, when somebody brings back a story of where they're in a workshop and something I said impacted them for life. Or a client that's graduated from a program with me who can tell me amazing things have been happening in their life in all sorts of different ways, expected and unexpected, because they continued to take care of themselves. They continued to apply what we explore and I would say teach during that program. And another huge reward is that everybody I learn from, every single coaching client I gain from, because I'm always open to what can I learn from the experience of being coach and coachee with this particular person.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So what would be your biggest dream or achievement that you're looking for through this work?
Ooh, that's a big question. Wow, and I really have to think about that a lot. Can you tell? Actually, as dreams get bigger, each time I do my own vision board, my confidence in that we can really attract anything that we want into our lives gets bigger and bolder. So about September last year, I really wanted my own podcast show. I had no idea how that was going to happen. Actually, I wanted my own radio show at the time. And then I sort of put it out to the universe, and I said, I want my own show. this would be fantastic. I can pull all these great people together and share it with the world and surround myself with these amazing, inspirational people. And I let it go. And then about a month later, I got a message from a friend who works in broadcasting, and he said, "Hey, would you like your own show?" I was like, yes, I really would like my show. And then we started that one in October, and within a couple of short months we realised instead of being a local podcast show, it was a global topic. It was we really should be taking this to the world. So in April this year we launched it as a global show, and I have my own show on iTunes now. So if anyone's listening, Hot and Healthy with Nicole Van Hattem on iTunes. And then at one point I was having a bit of a giggle with my girlfriends, and I said, "Oh, I'm really glad it's a like a podcast show, because I don't have to put makeup on every day, and I don't have to check out my outfit all the time and fuss with my hair." Could you imagine if it was TV? Right. Be careful what you put out into the universe. Be very specific about how you say things and what you attract. Because yesterday, one of my clients who graduated from my program a couple of years ago works for an international broadcasting TV channel. And he contacted me and said, "Hey, you remember we were talking about this concept? Well, I've just got approval and initial funding approval to go and do this thing. Will you be the key person in the show?" I was like, "Oh, yes."
Wow.
Yes, you really are more powerful than you realize. And your thoughts are so incredibly powerful. So it's important to make sure that you take the time to explore what it is you really want. And then put that out into the universe and get busy with what you can see. So for me, the third thing was I wanted to be globally mobile, so that I could travel and do anything, anywhere, with any wonderful opportunity that came to me. And just a couple of months ago, I was having this conversation with my husband, and he was like, no, we've been in this house and I've been in this job for 10 years. Well, be careful what you ask for, because 1 month later, we decided that we were going to sell up everything, put it all in a container, and just let go. And as a result, all these opportunities have come to us from South Africa, from Mexico, from Canada, from Australia, to stay in people's houses for free, to take care of their homes for free, while they're not there. So we can travel all over the world basically and have free accommodation. And I can work online, and my business online has taken off, and it's just brilliant, because now I'm free to do exactly what I want to do, wherever I want to do it in the world, with whoever I want to do it with. It's just brilliant. So really, as your question made me think, because I thought, every time I've thought bigger, I've expanded my vibration into the universe. I've attracted that, and when it comes and I get comfortable with it, I then get this bigger idea of what I'd like to be doing and how I'd like to show up in the world. And then that goes out to the universe, and now I'm attracting that. So ask me that question again in 6 months' time.
Okay, I will. Let's see what it is. So, what if you can pick a word to define you, what would that be?
Oh, I'm sorry, that froze.
It
What
froze?
did you, what was
Okay,
your
don't worry.
Yeah.
So, if you could pick one word to define yourself, what would that be?
Inspirational.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big word. An amazing
It
word.
is a big word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, Nicole, it's been amazing. I'm looking forward to read your story too, with the book, and
Thank you.
yes,
For sharing it.
and also to have a little bit more for the next issue. We're going to have another interviews with all of the writers, so you can share a little bit more concerning the book,
Right.
in the book, and I hope to see you soon and to keep hearing
I look
from
forward
you.
to it.
Yes,
Yay,
and
thank
good
you.
luck with everything. You're amazing.
Thanks, and so are you.
Okay, Nicole, so can you introduce yourself a little bit, please?
Sure. I'm Nicole Van Hattem, and I'm a holistic success coach and a best-selling author. I'm also the host of a very successful podcast that I encourage you all to subscribe to, called Hot and Healthy with Nicole Van Hattem.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicole. So tell me a little bit about your clients. Who are the people that come?
Lots of rewards. However, when you looked at the other aspects of my life experience in terms of what I now call success, I was failing miserably. My body was struggling to thrive. My relationship with my second husband was in trouble. I did not have deep relationships with friends and family. I didn't know who I was and what my purpose was in life. And I just found that everything was difficult, and I really didn't enjoy being in my body. And I was constantly afraid that I was setting myself up for...
To you, what's their usual problem, and what do you think they approach you to as a solution for their issues?
Okay, so the people that come to see me are generally those people who are successful in some aspects of their life, but are realizing that they're not living up to their full potential. Maybe it's their full potential in terms of the way they're experiencing their body. It could be in terms of the way that they are having relationships in their lives, and it could be in terms of the business side of what they're trying to change. But essentially it's because they're looking for that little bit of a self-empowerment, that ability to be able to realize they can have anything and everything they want, and that it's within their reach. So the people that come to me, I work with them, alongside them as their partner, as their coach, to get them to dig deep into the resources that they already have within themselves in order to create the kind of amazing life that they want. So these are people who are maybe surviving and have done quite well with that, but are now looking to thrive instead of just survive.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So you get a lot of different types of people. Can you tell us,
yeah.
Can you share a little success story of one of your clients?
Sure, I can share lots if you like, but I'll start with... I'm going to start with myself. I was actually my first client, and I described myself as, at that time, I was fat, sick, and successful. And I say successful because I was only successful in terms of what a classic definition of success was. I was earning a lot of money. I had, fantastic title. I worked in a very large global organization. I got